Thank you, Madam Speaker. I was honored, colleagues, this session to work with Senator Winters to co-chair the Ways and Means Public Safety Subcommittee. We spent many hours listening to the important and moving testimony from citizens across our state about the critical needs we face in protecting Oregonians and keeping our communities safe. As we know, we are not in a time where government can fully fund every program to meet every policy priority. That's why Oregon, like so many other states, has had to make tough decisions about how to invest in what matters most to our communities. We have worked hard through the Ways and Means process on public safety to listen to advocates and leaders from across the state so we can make the best decisions on how to budget our citizens' precious public safety dollars. I am proud to be part of the team that ultimately brought together the funding needed to implement the final public safety package that's up for consideration today. This public safety package is based first and foremost on making smart investments that protect Oregonians and serve victims. This policy package supports community-based and alternative sentencing programs that really work for the challenges we face in 2013, so our police, our prosecutors, our courts and prisons can focus on getting the most dangerous, violent offenders off our streets. Our public safety package recognizes that we have to do a better job in addressing the needs and challenges that Oregon's counties face in community corrections so we can make sure our public safety investments make sense for decades to come. As co-chair of the Public Safety Ways and Means Subcommittee, as an attorney and a citizen who has long been concerned about reforming our criminal justice system in Oregon, I recognize this package is not perfect. I agree with some of the committed advocates in our state that this package doesn't include many of the reforms I believe Oregon ultimately needs. I believe we've missed an opportunity to do more for Oregon's young people, especially those who have turned their lives around and are on the path to becoming productive members of our society. We have to do more to keep them out of prison and give them real opportunities to turn their lives around. I've worked with young women in our correction system as a volunteer in training and transition programs that provide a fresh start, and I have seen firsthand what happens when we give them new options and tools to succeed. Reforming our approach to sentencing and corrections is a critical discussion that needs to happen all over our state, in our local communities, and it deserves careful thought and consideration. But we're not there yet, and I'm committed to making sure that Oregon gets there in the years ahead. Now, let me run through some of the key budget numbers. This package focuses on what works best and what matters most in our public safety programs. This package creates new savings that we generate through reducing bed counts in Department of Corrections, and it takes advantage of savings in prison planning and reform and community corrections to reinvest in some critical priorities for Oregon's families across the entire public safety spectrum. Most importantly, this package allows us to postpone funding the planning and construction of a new prison. This package will result in $57.87 million in enhanced funding that we can focus on making Oregonians safer, reducing crime, treating substance abuse and mental health issues, and protecting victims of violence, especially women and children in our state. This is an unprecedented investment in keeping our communities safe. The public safety package has 5 priorities. First, we must protect and support the victims of crime in Oregon, especially our children. This package enables us to invest $7.29 million in victim services. We will double the state's investment in community-based domestic violence shelters and programs. It expands our investment in DA victims assistance programs by adding a domestic violence resource prosecutor and an additional $1.25 million. We are funding CAMI, the Child Abuse Multidisciplinary Intervention Centers in Portland, Eugene, Medford, Grants Pass, and Bend. We invest a total of $10.7 million in CAMI. House Bill 3194 allows the funding for protective orders for victims of sexual assault. We must invest in what really works in our community sentencing so we can keep the most violent offenders behind bars. We have funded the cost study in this budget to make sure community corrections investments for parole and probation services from Grants Pass to Portland match the true priorities and needs facing every part of our state. This public safety package increases the funding to community corrections.
Representative Gelser yields.
Thank you. The public safety package increases the funding in community corrections to $215 million, which is an 18% increase from our current state budget. $5 million is included to ensure our sheriffs have the jail space they need for swift and sure sanctions when someone violates their parole or probation. We have a responsibility to make sure that juvenile offenders are getting the opportunity to rehabilitate and prepare for a better future. To that end, we are investing in behavioral rehabilitation services to better assess juvenile offenders and give them the services they need. We are investing in better management for juvenile foster and delinquency cases. The savings from this package will allow us to reinvest nearly $900,000 in a system that will ensure kids who cannot aid in their own defense because of mental health issues get the services and treatment they need. Colleagues, there is much more that needs to be done, but we are heading in the right direction. We need to support alternative sentencing that works. The most violent offenders belong behind bars, but nonviolent Oregonians suffering from drug addiction and mental illness don't. That's why we are making significant investments in drug court and treatment options. This package allows an investment of almost $9 million in our state's drug courts. In addition, Oregon has led the way with mental health courts, domestic violence courts, and smart community sentencing alternatives. This package continues to fund those priorities, establishing an incentive fund of $15 million for grants to counties that are reducing recidivism and curbing the growth of the DOC population from their county. We will reward and support our local communities as they find a way to better ways to return nonviolent offenders to productive lives instead of warehousing them in our state prisons. We need to make sure our police services are available in all of our communities and our police have the tools they need to succeed. To make sure we have the best police practices in the country, this public safety package adds 2 public safety training specialists to support the Oregon Center for Policing Excellence. This package invests $1.47 million in the Oregon State Crime Lab to make sure our police have the resources they need to fully investigate violent crimes. House Bill 3194 allows us to add 13 troopers to patrol the roads in struggling rural counties and investigate crimes. Today, we can make an important commitment to turning the corner on how we approach public safety funding in Oregon. We can choose to recalibrate and reinvest, so we are planning for the public safety challenges we face today, not spending precious tax dollars on approaches that were designed for the 20th century. This bipartisan public safety package is about Oregon leading the way in public policy, but yet again being innovative, cost-effective, and efficient. It's about good stewardship and the wisest use of our tax dollars to protect our citizens and improve our communities. It's about serving victims and helping break the cycle of domestic violence. It's about helping struggling communities protect their vital public safety services. And it's about reaching out to help some of our most vulnerable neighbors when they cannot help themselves. I urge the House to join me in passing House Bill 3194 so we can invest together in an Oregon that protects all of its citizens. Thank you.